Hey y'all, what's up? Listen, we made it to day 10. We're almost halfway through 29 days of falling madly in love with your money. And today we're going to talk about the power of compound interest. Now, compound interest is so important because we cannot save our way to wealth. No matter how much you may think it's possible, you cannot save your way to wealth because compound interest actually helps you accelerate reaching that big financial freedom goal. So let's get into it. This is going to be a quick one, y'all. And as you're watching, tell me where you're watching from. If you happen to be catching this live, put hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. And tag your people so they can hear this message. Feel free to share it if you feel inclined. I'm Nashaya Richardson, the Play Money Coach, and I work with high achieving professionals who want to learn how to manage their money like a boss so they have more play money to do the things they enjoy. Now, compound interest is going to position us to have more money later so that when we decide that, you know what, I don't want to work anymore, I want to retire, or I want to put my money into a brokerage account and let it start building for me, compound interest is the thing that does that for you, which is why I talked about in another video is that if you are investing into a retirement plan, a brokerage account, anywhere where your money is supposed to earn compound interest, make sure you are actually investing it in something and not just putting the money there thinking that it's growing, but it's not actually invested in a stock, a mutual fund, an index fund, whatever, right? Now, I am not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving investing advice. Go to your financial advisor for that. This is just education on what is compound interest and the power of it. So I want you to think of compound interest like a snowball, right? And that snowball is starting at the top of the hill. And at the top of the hill, let's say you start with $1,000. And as it's rolling down the hill, it's like an avalanche, and the snowball, as it's rolling down the hill, is accumulating more snow on the ball, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it rolls down the hill. That is technically, if you visualize it, if you think about it, that is compound interest, right? So I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like and also how you can calculate how often your money is going to double. So here is something that I want you to write down, come back, type it in your phone if you're a digital person, whatever it is, right? And that is the rule of 72. So the rule of 72 is you take 72 and you divide it by whatever your interest rate is that you're getting on your money in your investment account or your savings account or wherever it is, right? And that is going to equal the time it takes for your money to double. So here's an example. Let's say you have 4% on your high yield savings account, right? Because that's reasonable. That's actually what it is right now. It's actually a little higher, right? And let's say that um, you have 4% on your high yield savings account. If you take 72 and you divide it by 4, it's going to equal 18 years. So that means that your money in your savings account is going to double at every 18 years if it's at 4% interest. And then you can apply that to every other interest rate, right? So let's say an example of 6%. That means your money is going to double every 12 years. If you have 12%, that means your money is going to double every 6 years. Now, I'm going to talk about what it could look like in real numbers, so that you can see the effects of compound interest and why we need to be investing and not just saving to build wealth. So I have two examples up on my screen. And let's say we have Nashaya. Not me, but Nashaya, right? Let's say we have Nashaya, and she has 4% interest on her money in her investing account, right? And she starts at age 29. And let's say someone gave her $10,000, maybe one of her parents or a grandparent or somebody gave her $10,000, and she said, "I'm going to start investing, and I'm at age 29. I have $10,000, and I'm going to invest my money in this account that has 4% interest on it." That means that every 18 years, Nishaya's money is going to double. So she started at 29 with $10,000. And then 18 years from then will be 40, she'll be 47. Her money is going to double at the age of 47 and she'll have $20,000. Now, what's going to happen next? You can put it in the comments, right? Another 18 years, that 20,000 is now going to double. So she'll be 65 and have $40,000 off of her $10,000 that she started with at age 29. Now, I want to show you what it could look like for someone who actually is getting a higher interest rate. So let's say, for example, we have someone that's getting a 12% interest rate. And let's say that is Donald Duck. Donald Duck is getting 12% interest on his money. Let's say he started at the same age as Nashea, age 29, and he also started with $10,000. And he's getting 12% interest on his $10,000. So now what is that? We're going to take the rule of 72, right? 72 divided by the interest rate, and that's going to equal 6 years. So that means every 6 years, his $10,000 is going to double. Now, it doesn't double on the original amount, it doubles on whatever the amount is at that 6 years. So he starts at age 29, he has $10,000. So that means in 6 years, when he's 35, he'll have $20,000 versus Nashea, who had 20,000 when she was at age 47. Then let's keep going, right? Because another 6 years, he'll be 41 and he'll have $40,000. And then at 47, he'll have $80,000 when Nashea had $20,000. So you see the power of compound interest and how that snowballs starting at the top and the amount of accumulation, so the amount of snow, the amount of interest that's adding on to your snowball as it's rolling down the hill is truly going to affect how big your snowball is at the bottom of that hill. So that is the power of compound interest. So anytime you think about your money sitting in an account, whether it is an investing account, it's a savings account, any type of account where your money is sitting, you want to be looking to see how much interest am I getting on my money as it's sitting here? Because if not, the value of your dollar is decreasing because of inflation, right? So the more you let it just sit somewhere and not gain any compound interest, your money is actually losing value, which that's no fun, right? That's not the purpose. That means we don't love on our money, right? we don't want it to grow, and we're not nurturing it where we really should be, right? So always think about, what is my money gaining as it's sitting in this account? And that is also why I encourage people to, if you do have a savings, which we all should have a savings, right? On top of our investments, right? We should all have a savings. Look at the high yield savings account. I can actually share my referral link to Ally. That is the high yield savings account I use. I love it. It's cool. I have a referral link, and I'm going to put it in the comments when I'm done. I didn't put it in the top today. But you can use your own high yield savings account. Do a web search and Google high yield savings account, and all of them will pop up. Pull up the one that use the one that you want to use, right? But I recommend Ally. Also, there was no also, but I recommend Ally. So that is the power of compound interest. And I'm going to go back to that example that I was talking about where we had Donald Duck and we had Nashea, and Donald Duck was getting that 12% interest versus Nashea that was getting that 4% interest on that initial $10,000 at the age of 29. This also shows you the power of starting early, because most of us don't have $10,000 at the age of 29. Some of us did, right? We may have had that scenario where a grandparent or someone left us something and we inherited that money and we started investing early, or maybe our parents started investing early for us. But there is true power in one starting as early as possible. So I know, a lot of times when we're younger, I know this was for me anyways. I was like, listen, I need every single dollar that's in my paycheck. I cannot afford to invest anything. I remember when my job, this was way back and way back, they started automatically taking 3% out of our paycheck. into an investment account. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was devastated. Like I just could not believe it. And I was like, listen, I need every single dollar, which at the time I did feel like I need every single dollar. But it's very important that we start early, because the earlier we start investing, then that means the less we can invest every month and have our money grow as big as if we started later with higher investments every month. So going back to my example in the beginning where Nashaya, not me, the other Nashaya, was getting 4% on her $10,000 and she started at age 29. And then we have Donald Duck who's getting 12% on his $10,000 and he also started at age 29. Donald Duck will have $640,000 at the age of 65, where Nashaya will only have $40,000. And that's based on the interest rate. And then also, if you're someone that is doing dollar cost averaging, which is investing the same amount every single month, right? Just letting it flow automatically, automating it without you touching it, without you thinking about it, it is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So, one, I encourage you to, if you do not already have a financial advisor, get a financial advisor, or there is a couple of investing groups that I can recommend to you if you feel like, you want to be in community, or you don't necessarily want to have a specific, that one person that you meet with, you just want to be in a space where you're learning and you can learn in a group. I have different resources that I can recommend to you. I am part of an investing group that I actually joined last year. And it is just super awesome. It's all women, which is super dope, right? And I love it. And then I have another wealth strategist who has an investing group for women that I can also recommend to you, that I would, refer people to. And I also have financial advisors who I am connected with. If you just feel like, I just want a person that's my person, that I can go to and talk to about my specific plan, then please message me and ask me who for resources, because I have them there for you. But just know that compound interest is very important. It is so powerful for us to reach that big money goal, for us to be able to retire early or retire at the age 65 if you want to ride it out until 65, or you just want to invest your money in a brokerage account that's not necessarily for retirement, but you want to start investing in something outside of your retirement. Compound interest is your friend and is truly going to make your money multiply and really build your money family, so that there's lots of love and lots of monies, right? So yeah, that was day 10, the power of compound interest, and it is so important. Tomorrow I'm coming back. Yes, I am coming back tomorrow for day 11, and I'm going to talk about nurturing your financial relationship and just some things that you can start doing on a regular basis to where you are maintaining that healthy relationship with your money. Now, it's one thing to have your dating stage, right? Like most of the stuff we talked about so far, that's like your dating stage. You're getting comfortable, you're getting to know your money and all the exciting things that comes along with it. Now, once you have that, you're building that foundation, you have your structure, now you need to maintain it and what comes along with maintaining a healthy relationship, right? So we'll talk about what that looks like with your money. So if you're coming back tomorrow, put a 2 in the comments and I'll see y'all then. So have an awesome evening. Stay safe